What is up, Pokemon Go family? It is your boy, TheGoulGuy, back at you guys yet again with another video, and today we are going to be showcasing another team for the Great League before we, transition over to another cup. I believe it's going to transition over to the Ultra League if I'm not mistaken, but I want to showcase another Great League team. This is one of my favorite Great League teams that I've actually been using. Well, I know I just talked about the last Great League team that I actually liked as well, but this one is very special because I got beat by this team. Like, literally, this is a team that I have concocted from a player that I battled, and they just whopped me with this team. And now I know why. It's a freaking phenomenal team. The team consists of Gastrodon. We have Drapion and as well as Talonflame. Drapion, one of the best safe switches in the game with the Aqua Tail as well as the Crunch, and it's super spammy. And of course, we already know Talonflame, super flexible and an amazing Pokemon just in this league, especially if you want a fire type user, essentially one of the best fire type users in the Great League. And we have Gastrodon, of course, going to be very good against those poison and as well the poisons and as well the electric types. Oh my goodness, I don't know why I stumbled on my words, but anyway, really good against the electric and as well the poison types, which is pretty phenomenal. But yes, this team works amazing together, and basically we're just going to showcase basically my set that I ran with this team today. And before we get into that, of course, we are going to showcase the IVs and as well the move sets of each Pokemon before we get into it. So let's get started. Let's go. Alright, so first on the list we have our Gastrodon. Let's look at the Gastrodon. This is our Great League Gastrodon here with Mud Slap, Body Slam, as well as Earth Power. These are the IVs here. Pretty decent PvP IVs on our Gastrodon here, which is very nice. Next on the list we have our Drapion, our Shadow Drapion. And there it is right there. Decent PvP, well, actually not the best PvP IVs actually, but for a Shadow, pretty decent PvP IVs anyway, with Poison Sting, Aqua Tail, and as well as Crunch on the Drapion there. Pretty spammy Pokemon. Just love this Drapion so much, just because it's just an amazing safe switch. What can I say? And last but not least, we also have the Talonflame. This is our 96% Talonflame. Still have not built our actual PvP IV Talonflame yet, but essentially does what it needs to do with Incinerate, Fly, and as well as Flame Charge. I know a lot of people typically they use Fly and as well as Brave Bird, but I like the Flame Charge usage, of course, just because to amplify the Incinerate damage, especially if my back's against the wall and I only have shields to obviously go behind. So that is why we use these movesets specifically, but of course you can always go with Brave Bird if you want to. But anyway, that is the team. Those are the IVs, those are the move sets. Let's get into the battles. Let's go. Starting it off here, but yeah, this team works phenomenally. I'm telling you, it just works phenomenally. If you do not have a good lead, you switch directly into Drapion, and Drapion knows how to get it done, okay? Speaking of good lead, this is not the best, but it's a lead, right? We got Gastrodon versus Gastrodon, pretty much a full-on mirror match. We're going to see who gets to the Earth Power first, and I do get to the Earth Power first, which is very nice. I don't know if this was charge priority or not, or they were just trying to get to over farm, if I'm not mistaken. They do end up using a shield here, so we're gonna counter back with another shield, and it is a Body Slam. Okay, so they basically baited me with the Body Slam here, so I do have to be cautious because they will get to the Earth Power, and we catch it on the freaking Talonflame. Let's go. Basically, Talonflame, Earth Power is not gonna do that much damage to the Talonflame, which is very nice, and looks like they switch in a Azumarill. Okay, so this is not gonna be the best for the Talonflame. Basically any charge move from this Azumarill is going to basically knock us out here, which is going to not be the greatest, but we're going to try to get some damage off on the Azumarill before the Talonflame is taken out here. Let's see if we can get to one more fly before we're KO'd. Can we? And we do. We do get to another fly, which is nice. They already use a shield. Are they going to double shield here? Let's see what ends up happening. and they don't. Okay, so we do have a good amount of energy off onto this Azumarill, which is very nice here. I'm just going to go back into the Gastrodon, and basically I do have a Body Slam that I am going to be able to throw onto the Azumarill. That should guarantee us a KO, unless they end up shielding here, which they do. They do end up shielding, which is very unfortunate. We're going to shield right back, and basically we are now shieldless at this point. But what I can do, I can basically farm. Oh my goodness, I did not realize they had extra energy. I should have known. I should have known that they were actually building up energy when they were actually farming down our Talonflame, which is fine, because we still have the Drapion here. Can the Drapion take out 2 Pokemon? Basically, the Gastrodon is almost dead, which is nice, but I don't know what they have in the back, and they have a Talonflame. Look at that. I don't know why they brought in the Talonflame when they freaking have a Gastrodon. Gastrodon definitely could have taken a lot of damage off on this Drapion, but hey, we're gonna take it. They have no more shields left, and we have double Aqua Tails, which is gonna basically take out this Talonflame, no problem. Yeah, that was just not a good that was just not good on my opponent here. And basically they have to build up, they literally had to build up back to a Body Slam at least to take out this Drapion, since they just used the Earth Power. So unfortunately they aren't going to be able to get to it. We get to the crunch and we do end up winning that game. Drapion literally taking out 3 Pokemon. Of course the Azumarill was already low on HP, but Drapion literally took out 3 Pokemon, bro. Insane. If they came back in with Drapion, they probably would have had a better time against me, but unfortunately they came in with the Talonflame and we were able to spam those Aqua Tails and win that game. Let's go. Going into the next battle, let's see what we end up going against here. We have, oh goodness. Okay, so we got Gastrodon versus the Credilli. Now, of course, Credilli has a way better advantage than our Gastrodon here. Grass is going to do a tremendous amount of damage to our Gastrodon. So we ended up switching out instantly into our Drapion, and we were countered with the, was it Marsh? I was about to say, yeah, Swampert. I was about to say Marshadow. But anyway, we get a Crunch off. Crunch does a whole bunch of damage to this Swampert, which is very nice here. I'm just going to let the move go, and it's a Hydro Cannon, but I am still going to be able to get to a charge move, which is very nice here. I could have shielded and probably spammed to another Aqua Tail potentially, but this is fine. We go back into the Gastrodon here, and essentially we're going to take another Hydro Cannon. It's fine. We still maintain our shields, and Hydro Cannon shouldn't do that much damage to our Gastrodon here. I mean, it did take out like basically half our health, but we are going to be able to maintain and actually get a good farm down here. They switch back into the Credilli. Now, the thing is about the Credilli, we do have to worry about the Credilli and the Rock Tombs, and as well as the, you know, obviously Seed Bomb. So essentially, I throw an Earth Power. Earth Power does basically half its health. We switch into the Talonflame. We have 2 shields to hide behind. This is the bonus of having Flame Charge, just because if I want to ramp up my damage on top of hide behind a shield, as we already know, that's not gonna, oh, and they switch into a Typhlosion. Not gonna be the best for us. Obviously Typhlosion has the Thunder Punch, which he only needs 2 Incinerates to get to, but we are gonna be able to get to a Fly. Fly comes through, gets a shield, and we're going to try to get to another Fly, and they get to another charge move here. We're just going to use another shield here. I believe that was their last shield, if I'm not mistaken. That might have been their last shield. Thunder Punch comes through. We shield it up, and we're going to throw another Fly. Does this Fly connect? That is the question. Fly should do a decent amount of damage if it does, and it does connect. We switch right back into our Gastrodon, catching, I believe, another Thunder Punch, which we should survive, maybe, potentially. I think we do survive it. Yes, we do. We do survive it, which is nice, and we're going to get to another Body Slam. Basically, well, another Body Slam. We get to a Body Slam anyway. Now, it's not effective against the Credillis, but it should be able to do a decent amount of damage to where I can possibly get an Incinerate off, and oh my goodness, they get a Rock Tomb off on our Talonflame, which is just going to be an instant KO. Very unfortunate there. That was a very close win, but we ended up losing that game. Oh my goodness. But as you can see, you can see the strategies was there. Okay, I was definitely working with it. But I think my I think I probably should have shielded the Drapion and potentially took out the Swampert. Maybe gaining switch, that might have actually helped in my case. But anyways, that's kind of where my thought process is. But anyway, going into the next match, and it looks like we have somewhat of a redemption match. We have Gastrodon against the Credilli again. We switch out into our Drapion, and now they have a freaking Tinkerton. This is not going to be the best for us, but we are going to be able to spam the Aqua Tails, which is going to be nice. Aqua Tail spam coming through here should do a decent amount of damage to the Tinkerton. Tinkerton. However you want to pronounce it anyway. We're going to not shield this. This could just be a Bulldoze. Bulldoze doesn't do that much damage, even though it is super effective. And we are going to be able to get to another Aqua Tail here. I believe we can possibly also get to another Aqua Tail. Let's see what happens here. Aqua Tail coming through. Can I take out a Tinkerton here? Aqua Tail coming through here. And this potentially could KO if they let it go, or get the shield. Let's see what they do. They do end up shielding here, which is fine. At this point, we're just gonna let the Drapion go. We got the health down low onto the Tinkerton, which is fine, and Gastrodon is going to get a farm down, which is going to be very nice. And basically, we're just going to switch directly into our Talonflame soon as the Credilli comes in. We have two shields to hide behind again. So basically, same strategy, right? Same strategy, but essentially, we had a little bit more fight with our Gastrodon this time. And they switch into a Blastoise. Not the best Pokemon I want to see right now. Of course, the rollout damage is going to be very crucial onto our Talonflame, which is going to be horrible for us. But let's see if we can get to another fly. We got one more shield to hide behind too, so we do have to be cautious of that, because that is going to be our last shield. So we do not want any more anything more happening right now, because we don't want this Hydro Cannon coming through and taking out our Talonflame, because that is going to be our only answer to the Credilli down there. So we get off another fly and just basically end up switching directly into our Gastrodon. The goal here at this point is basically to farm down the Blastoise and get off an Earth Power onto the Credilli. That is the only way I'm going to be able to actually take out that Credilli. And we do get to the Earth Power, which is very nice. Earth Power should be doing a decent amount of damage. I don't believe they have any more shields left. Boom, Earth Power comes through. And let's see if we can get a little bit more damage off onto the Credilli before we end up getting KO'd. But unfortunately, they do get to their charge move, which is fine, because they're going to be energy dry by the time I come in with our Talonflame. And we should be able to farm it the rest of the way down. Hopefully, yes, we do. We end up farming down the Credilli, which is nice. And we do get to a fly, which should be ending up KOing the freaking Blastoise, and without all odds against us, we still end up winning that game. Let's go. That was awesome. Like, that was awesome. It was like instant redemption, like right after that. Like, I was like, we lost the last one with the Credilli, but the Credilli in the lead, and we won the second one with the Credilli in the lead. Let's go. That's dope. That's dope. But yeah, as you can see, this team works phenomenally, okay? This team works amazing. You just have to really know what you're doing in terms of like the matchups, right? Definitely in the energy. Obviously, make sure you got enough energy. Pretty decent lead here. We have Gastrodon versus the Dunsparce. The rollout damage isn't going to do anything to the Gastrodon, which is nice. And I don't have to really worry about rollout or the drill run, so this should be fine. Drill run coming through. Yeah, not doing that much damage, but we are going to be able to get to an Earth Power. Earth Power should do a decent amount of damage to this Dunsparce, which is going to be nice. Earth Power coming through. Boom! Doing a good amount of damage. And at this point, I probably could just farm down, gain some energy before they bring in their next Pokemon. Another drill run coming through, and let's see, can I farm down the Dunsparce? And I can. Let's go. And we already got a Earth Power ready to go for the next Pokemon that comes in, and it's an Amoonguss. So we just instantly swap into our Drapion, which Astonish damage is going to do that much damage to the Drapion, which is going to be very nice. But they end up switching into a Sand Slash, an Alolan Sand Slash. which essentially it's still not bad, not horrible anyway. We are going to be able to get to the crunch before they get to their charge move, and we get to an Aqua Tail before they get to their charge move, which is very nice. Aqua Tail gets blocked by their shield. Crunch still did a decent amount of damage, so it's basically on half right now. I can just let this go, which is fine, but they end up using Ice Punch, which gives me an opportunity to try to get to another Aqua Tail, and we get to another freaking Aqua Tail. Let's go. If they used Drill Run, I definitely would have been KO'd here, but they baited with the Ice Punch, or they thought the Ice Punch was actually going to KO me, but we do get their last shield, which is very nice, and they have the Amoonguss, and the Sand Slash up against our Talonflame now, and it's pretty much game over at this point, right? Foul Play coming through. We're just going to shield that, and at this point, basically, they have two Pokemon that are weak to the Talonflame, and to be honest, even weak to the Gastrodon, because the Amoonguss is part poison, and, you know, the Sand Slash is, of course, you know, ice and steel. Well, steel for the most part. Steel is the main important thing, but they ended up conceding the match knowing that they just did not have any chance, and we end up winning that game. Let's go. I believe we have one more match, if I'm not mistaken. I think we won 3, we lost 1, actually, so maybe 2 more matches. I don't know. I'm losing count. I don't know what's going on here. I'm losing count. All right, going into the next match, let's go. What we got here? We got Clodsire. Okay, so we're actually a good matchup, actually a good lead here, which is very nice. They end up switching into the Golisopod. We're going to switch into the Drapion. The Shadow Claw's not doing any damage, of course, since I am part dark, which is going to be nice. We're just going to let this move go. I should be able to tank it. It is a X-Scissor. X-Scissor doing a decent amount of damage, basically taking out half my health, but we are going to be able to spam to another charge move after this, so I'm not too worried about that, and their quick move is not really doing that much. So looks like they do get to their charge move next, but that's fine. We are going to be able to hide behind a shield here. And let's see if we can get to another crunch here. And we do get to another crunch. Do they invest into another shield? That is the question at this moment. Let's see what they end up doing here. Do they invest in their last shield? And they do. Okay, so they do invest in their last shield, but they end up switching. They end up switching back into their Clodsire. So we are going to be able to get to another Aqua Tail. Well, get to a Aqua Tail in general. I don't know why. I'm just like stumbling on my words here. But we are going to be able to get to the Aqua Tail, doing a decent amount of damage to this Clodsire. Switch back into our Gastrodon. And at this point, I can take an Earthquake. That's no problem. I don't want to waste this last shield. They're shieldless at this point, so essentially might as well just get some farm down, a little bit more farm down here before we end up throwing the Earth Power and end up KOing the Clodsire here, and we come out with some excess energy just in case they come back in with the Golisopod. Let's see what they do. They bring in a Cradilly. As we already know, Cradilly, we've been having issues with the Cradilly, okay? But we do have the Earth Power here, which is very nice, going against this Rock and Grass type user. Basically taking out half the health of the Cradilly, which is nice. And with the Mud Slap damage, basically almost getting it to the red, which is nice. We bring in the Drapion just to absorb whatever charge energy they have. Basically, probably going to be a Rock Tomb here. Rock Tomb, taking out the Drapion, and we still have the Talonflame in the back with the shield, by the way, so we should be able to either farm down this Cradilly or not. It's fine. We have the shield, and we should be able to hide behind it, maybe farm down the rest, or take out whatever they're going to switch into. What are they going to switch? They switch into the Golisopod. Now, this is a full health Talonflame, so I should be able to take a Aqua Jet. Aqua Jet taking so much freaking health off this Talonflame, but this is the beauty of Talonflame, okay? In the right situation, with the amount of charge energy that it has, and shields to hide behind, it can take out freaking anything, and we ended up winning that game with the Talonflame. Let's go. But yeah, I really thought that Golisopod was going to take us out. Like that was insane. But Talonflame was able to hold on and basically use that fly to his advantage, taking out that freaking Golisopod. And yeah, pretty much that Incinerate was just going to take out that Credilli. And yeah, we ended up winning that game. That was a 4 out of 5 set that we ended up winning there. So 1-4, lost 1. But yes, this team was freaking amazing. Love this team so much. And also too, if you notice, the elo did go down. I've been experimenting with a whole bunch of teams. Okay, I've been messing up a lot. Okay, like it's been really bad. Okay, but as I said, I don't want to stress on it. I want to just like showcase a team that really worked for me, and hopefully it worked for you guys out there. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely leave me a like and subscribe to the channel, as it helps the channel grow. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.